God bless you. Lara, now so you turn radio to evangelism school. Oh. It's you. Oh. It's not me.
Okay. Oh dear.
Two more calls, and after that, we close this. Turn down your radio, sir.
Good. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah,
Good
hi.
evening. Isaac speaking.
Hi, Isaac.
Hello.
We
Yeah,
can hear you.
We can hear you, sir. Go
I
ahead.
just want that. Why don't that is free?
Well done, sir.
Please, I just want you to speak on Matthew 23:23.
I already did. Christ was addressing the Pharisees.
Yes, yes. I just want
23. I have it in my head. O ye Pharisees and O ye scribes and Pharisees, hypocrite. For you tithe on the tiniest bit of your income. You tithe on your mint, cumin, and anise. And you reject the weightier matters of the law. Yes, you should tithe, but you should not reject the weightier matters of the law. He was not talking to Christians. He was talking to people who practice a religion called Judaism that still exists in Israel today. That was not a message for the Christians. Because who were the Pharisees paying tithes to? The Levites. We don't have Levites. Nigerian pastors can never qualify to be Levites. For you to be a Levite, you have to come from the tribe of Levi. Levi was one of the sons of Jacob and Leah. And the tribe of Levi was the tribe that was ascribed the tithe to. Like the other caller said, they were not allowed to own land, they were not allowed to inherit property. All that was their inheritance was tithe. Let me ask you, your pastor no get property, he no get land. If you read Deuteronomy 14 at the tail end of it, it says, do not neglect the Levite, for they have no inheritance among you. Your so-called Levites of today, who can never really be Levites, because Levite is a bloodline. Even Christ did not qualify to be a Levite. Hence, Hebrews chapter 7, where Paul had to explain his own type of priesthood, which comes according to the order of Melchizedek, who was a priest and a king. So I think I've explained that. If you have any more questions, you can bring them on it, but it had nothing to do with Christians. Christ is our chief priest, not the Levites. If your example for tithing in scripture should be where Christ collected it, or where he instructed the disciples to collect it.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, can you hear us?
Okay. You want me to take more calls or
Just one
something?
more call, then we close. Because they're going to count us. Just trust me, we'll start another topic. They'll take us back here.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Hello. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir. Go ahead, sir.
How are you, Ada?
I am fine. Fine, thank you.
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Please, can you move away from your radio set?
All right. No, I'm on the phone.
Okay.
Adi, please.
Yes,
I
sir.
really commend your effort and your comments so far,
Thank you very much, sir.
and I wish you the best.
Thank you very much, sir. Wish you too the
I
best,
do
sir.
advise that you need to buckle up. There's a lot of things to even, to spread to, even beyond the site. Hello?
I can hear you, sir. I'm with you, sir.
Okay. Sir, another area I want us to talk about is the issue of Nigeria. We are talking much about that this evening. Let's move on to the other area. I hope you can hear me. Okay.
Thank you very much. We've moved on to many other issues.
Nigeria as a whole.
Yes,
Nigeria as a whole. We are missed it from the beginning.
absolutely, absolutely.
We are misled with the wrong information. We are grown up in the wrong information. We are the wrong mentality, and we are moving. We are grown up.
Absolutely.
The church politics is more terrible than the nation politics. I hope you agree with that.
I agree with you, sir.
Most of the
Boyega Adeosun, Jibola Lawal,
in fact, I don't know.
Victoria, Daniel Wilson. I hail you now. Egmo Daniel.
Do you believe that if some pastor did not minister in the church, some member will not come next? The moment they discover the pastor will not minister.
Yes.
Some of them will pull so much through the board that my pastor did not minister to this, so I'm not blessed. That is the situation we have found ourselves.
Oh, well, that was tithe. Sorry, I meant tight. So, Ada, can we sneak in one more call?
Okay. So when are you going to take messages? Because there are a lot.
One more call, then we move to messages. They will fight us inside the message, so let's deal with the calls.
About good evening.
Hi.
Yeah, my name is Joseph from Okpa.
Hello, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm very fine. That is good evening to you.
Good evening to you, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very fine. Let me start this way. God bless you.
Amen, sir. And you too, sir, and your family as well.
Thank you so much. And God bless Nigeria as well.
Amen.
I pray, can you hear me?
Clearly, I can hear you like you are sitting down with me in a room.
I tuned into Nigerian info last week. I can't precise now the particular day. And that was the first time I will hear you discuss how the situation is now in Nigeria. And ever since then, I've been following your discussions every night.
It's to film work. You did my DM. Yay. I mean, you did my live.
No, I've been unfortunate to keep a call to the discussion. That aside, one thing I want to say is that I know this country will definitely move forward. This is Nigeria.
Amen.
Yes, Nigeria will definitely move forward. And for Nigeria to move forward, Nigerians need to learn more. When I mean Nigerians, we need to learn more. Educate ourselves properly. At least in the world over. Educate ourselves properly so that we don't get derailed in the school of thought. One more thing that I will say is that I am not too, like in my own case, let me use myself as a case study. I attend services, that's church programs.
Yes, sir.
I don't commit myself, I don't dwell into it so seriously. Once I get to church and I pray with my faith, connecting my faith with God, irrespective who is on the altar or at the pulpit, I go back to my house, believing that my prayer will definitely be answered.
Oof. A call was for 1 hour. They're going to call me back. Jibola Lawal, yes. I spoke a bit about rapture. Now, I'm going to, I don't know if you're still Ekist. One of these days, I'll also like you to speak about that. Let's get in touch via SMS. How's Gobi? Haven't heard from Gobi in like 12 years, if not more. I remember once I saw him at Cool FM. How is he doing? Lola Okonla, I hail you. Folarin Adeboye, how are you guys doing? Bless you all. Let me wait for Nigeria Info to call me back. And I should have warned, I saw it was 55 minutes. I should have warned Ada. I don't even know if she's going to be able to call me back because of the volume of callers. Somebody went to bring up, what is it called? Someone went to bring up tithing. So now so the team move us come out where we were supposed to be. Shukpovon, I don't know if you're here. There was a post on Donald Trump that the Free Nation group is discussing right now. I don't know who put it there. Okay, it was Vic that put it up. Vic put it up. He said, he was speaking of Donald Trump. He said, now there's a prophet right there. Donald Trump said, if I were to run, I'll run as a Republican. They are the dumbest group of voters in the country. They'll believe anything on Fox News. I could just lie and they'll still eat it up. I bet my numbers will be terrific. Donald Trump, 1998. You see, when the population isn't too intellectual, it's so easy to understand how they'll be swayed. It's so easy to understand how they'll be swayed. So, Ada, please call me back. Oh, eh? Yes, boss. Big shout out to our brother Extron INV, who is a year older today. Amazing guy. He came to drop a bottle of champagne for me, celebrating his birthday. And even though we in the Free Nation don't celebrate birthdays, but we still celebrate our own on the birthdays. Eventually, we'll do away with birthdays in like 5 years because they're not scriptural. But since there's no harm and it's not like we are making doctrines out of them, I always try to celebrate my own people. Oops, I hope this is from the office.
Hello, sir.
Yes, who's speaking?
Francis, sir, from Banana.
Hey, my Oga Francis, I did live. We'll go talk tomorrow. How far?
I have calling Nigerian info number since all the day when I'm following the Nigerian info. I cannot get it, and I want to speak for those people. I don't know how we'll call it. I'm calling this number, Nigerian info. Since...
Yes, you know the problem is if the 5 people will be calling at the same time. Now, whoever they pick, Naim, they go they talk about. Naim, they go they talk. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's very painful.
And I want to clarify them, sir, about the discussion.
Yes, sir.
That in the Malachi,
yes,
that you speak, because Malachi said, God said, "Test me now," and Christ said, "Don't test God." So 2 things. God said, "Don't test God." Okay, God said, "Test me now," which is different covenant. So you are allowed to test God in the old covenant because He is the one that said. But in this covenant, Christ said, "No, it is not allowed to test God." So 2 things. Okay, and again, sir.
That's a nice perspective. That's a nice perspective.
And again, sir, for Romans Abi.
Yes.
I did Romans 13 Abi that say all authorities come from God. No authority that comes from man, right? Okay, if authority of...
Oops, wow. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Oh my goodness, the line's cut off. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. I'm calling Daddy Sweet. I got this number from Daddy Sweet page on Instagram.
Yeah, but Daddy Freeze is live on Instagram. You can't call him while he's live.
I'm trying to reach him live, but I'm not getting him. There is something I have to report. It's very, very important. I can give you my details.
Okay, report, sir.
Okay. On the 18th of this month,
yes, sir,
a community leader at Iba murdered, shot my cousin dead, and took his body away. Then,
wow,
the police apprehended him. Yesterday, we got to Banti police station.
Okay.
And he showed us the man. My cousin is in the mortuary. His pictures and the details, everything are here. So I just want this to go online for him to help sharing this so the whole world know what is happening to our youth. This boy is just 53 years old and he plays football.
Why was he killed?
Now, this is the thing. He has been threatening all the youth around the area, and they got this notification that the 1 million boys armed robber was going to come around to rob. So he himself, that means the chairman, asked all the youth to stay in front of their house.
Yes.
Now, he obeyed. He obeyed in the morning, in the early hours of 4 a.m., so he escorted his friend because it's dawn already. escorted his friend to his uncle's place. Right there, then the uncle, the community leader saw the uncle and was like reporting him to the uncle. In the presence, there were 3 of my uncles there. He was reporting him. My uncle was like explaining. So they got into an heated argument. He used his helmet to hit my uncle. And my cousin was like, why would you just do this with impunity? All of a sudden, he shot this boy right in presence of my 3 uncles.
So the 1 million boys, we want to do now wickedness. The wickedness now come from among una. Nigeria. Who did this to us? The person will use our pants buy Benz. The person don't die.
Sorry?
I said the person will use Nigeria pants buy Benz. That person don't. EFCC no see that person catch. Who did this to us?
Police don't catch the man. In the fancy as we talk, but then they try to cover up the case because it's just from the bias. If our local government area, but that the expressway, so it's not coming with obviously we are vulnerable.
Yeah.
And we just want the whole Nigeria to know this is online. I can give you the link. You can check for the story. The boy's picture is with me right here, right now. I can share my details.
Okay, please send it to me as a WhatsApp number. Let me see if I can get back on the radio because I'm actually live on the radio right now.
Okay.
All right.
This number on WhatsApp.
Yes, please. It is, sir.
Okay, this is my number on WhatsApp. I'll send the details here right now.
All right, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
And you're welcome to. Okay, Nigerian Info is calling me back. Whew. Ada Blessy.
Hello?
We're on. Just switch the call.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you're on?
I think so. But it was on. You cut it off now with your call. I was just waiting for you to usher me in.
Okay, I just fed the fader to see if I can hear you talk, but it's not.
Okay, try again. Try to call me again then.
Okay.
Try. The wrong people are calling at the same time now. Just hang on a second, guys. We're waiting for the call to come through. Sorry, waiting for Nigeria Info to call me back. Thank you, Peter Sunday. God bless you. Hi, guys. Sorry, I'm waiting for Nigeria Info. All our people are going live. All them Kidominats, they are all live. I saw Slim Case live. Hope it's the same yesterday matter that they are still on. Maybe that's why Ada is not calling me. God bless you all. What happened to Nigeria Info? Why are they not calling me? Let me try to see if there's anything wrong with the call. Sadly, so anyway, today we're going to be talking about. Please forgive me for the time lapse. It's because of what's this thing called Nigeria Info. They can't seem to be able to hook up with me or me hook up with them. So Ada, Chris Eze says, I can't wait to take this COVID-19 vaccine. Wow, that's deep. We all can't because it looks like it's the only solution um, going forward. You know? Let me start reading your messages. Or let me try Adablezi one more time. All the thieves should go to the hospital and corona center and perform miracle. Absolutely. Is the vaccine in Nigeria? No, not yet. Ada, I'm waiting for you. What happened? Hello? I've been on my phone. Don't get problem now. Hey, this one no good though. This one don't even make any sense at all. Let me just shut down the networks and see if we can get back. So, sorry guys, still trying to hook up. The show's been so sweet. I don't know which kind of devil do we have today. Can you hear me, Ada?
Hello?
Yes, I'm waiting for you to call back.
Yes, dialing your number. It's showing originator cancel.
Okay, I switched on the phone and off. Maybe we have a clearer path now. Try to call it again now.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, Ada? Airtel. How can nobody not hear me? Calls are cutting. Airtel, what's going on? Omonigo says the vaccine is the only solution, not the prayer and fasting of MFM. Plenty water, how are you doing? I kind of agree. I just hope she's able to call me. I just hope. Because I'm so, I don't know how, this devil, I'm sure if you say that if you have started this, your Pentecostal beliefs again. This devil. How can we be having such a good program? And then all of a sudden, we're getting to, oh, fantastic. Nigeria is calling me. Let's pray that it connects. Everybody pray, 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 pray. Let's be prayerful. We're in Nigeria where we have to pray. Someone said when you told them they didn't listen, they could not listen. They no listen. They didn't listen. Sad. So are you connected? Adam connected though. Hey, God, oh, and she might not know that I'm connected and she might cut me off. Yes, yes, I am Call.
95.3 Nigeria. In full, this is still live and dangerously that free. And before we went on a quick musical break, we were talking about tithing, and we didn't even get into the topic of the day. But good thing we have Daddy Freeze back. Welcome back.
Woo! That was a haters if there ever was any. People are sending thank you to you for getting us back. Okay. So where were we?
Okay. We're talking about tithing, and you said after the last call, we're going to take a few messages, then we see if we can actually talk about the topic of the day. That's if we still have time.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, good evening, Daddy. Please don't mislead the public with your tithe sermons. Not all churches make this tithe mandatory. Also, please be bold enough to call the names of those mega churches that talk about tithe. Oh, this doesn't went through the mention of Jesus of the church. Please don't generalize it to all churches. Also, the money you claim that your church uses for charity work, is it not people's contributions to your church? Please, he that needs a glass house need not drop no.
I've never been against contribution, and I've always explained it clearly to everybody. We have always been very clear about it from the beginning. We have. Let me break something down to him because I know he's listening. Every single active member of my church got a stimulus package, and not every active member of my church makes a contribution. Just to give you perspective, I actually go from group to group. Guys, are you okay? Does anybody need anything? Whether they give any contribution or not. He's saying churches don't make it mandatory. We have a major geo on video who said if you don't pay your tithe, you will not make heaven. Who remembers the guy? Who don't remember where Baba talk him? Just he clearly said it in plain English. Unless we have to also use the same spirituality we use to interpret their Bible to interpret what their geos also say. He said that you will not make heaven if you don't tithe. Clearly. So what is he on about? I have members of, as I'm on with you on Nigeria Info, we're also on live. I have never solicited for funds, even when we need funds the most, unless the money is going directly to the person who needs it. We have a lot of charity cases we're doing. And we have some members who called me and begged me that, please, Daddy Freeze, do you have anybody that actually needs help? So it's a totally different thing. There's nothing wrong. You see, you cannot misunderstand Luke chapter 8, verse 1 to 3 for Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. They're not the same thing. One was free will support. The other one is a taxation system. So he needs to understand. And he started off with saying, I'm misleading the public. I'm showing them scripture. I'm misleading the public. Why? Because it doesn't conform with what your geos have said. The one your geos have taught us, how better off is Nigeria for it today? How better off are Christians in Nigeria for it today? Meanwhile, the Buddhists in Singapore and South Korea and the atheists in China are doing better than us. We need to change. This is our mentality. We cannot carry it going forward. Though. Oil is now $0 a barrel. And it has risen from there to maybe $10. I was monitoring it earlier on today. It's pathetic. That our mentality of praying our problems away has got to stop. And why am I doing this? Because I don't want Christianity to die. If we leave Christianity to Nigerian pastors, people are going to wake up and say that what they're teaching is not scriptural. It doesn't even work. Listen, the only people who benefit from you tithing are the people you are paying the tithe to. So, how am I misleading the public? Is there anything I've said that is not in the scriptures? Have I in any way misquoted the scriptures? If I have, you can call me and explain it. We're all listening live.
Okay, aside the fact that you have over 10 persons asking to be part of your church, and they're asking for the location and the name and all of that, they want to be a member and all that. But that is great. Most of your criticisms this recent time have always been on 5G and the Bible. Why not criticize the Quran and the government? It is then that I will respect you. Timothy from my dad.
Okay, hold on a second. I want to ask you a question. My profile says scripture teacher. I took my time out, set aside a time of my life out to understand the scriptures, to understand the revelations I was having. I don't have any revelations about Islam. I'm not a prophet for Islam, a preacher for Islam. I don't even understand the Quran or know it. I've read little bits of it here and there. I've had it explained to me by different scholars here and there, but I will never claim to be an authority on something I do not know. I cannot just come out and criticize a Quran and then tomorrow somebody will come and say that if you don't have understanding. When I criticize the scriptures, instead of you to deal with those issues, you want me to jump and go and enter Quran that I don't know. Next thing you tell me to go and criticize Buddha. I don't know these things. My script, what is it called? You don't expect an accountant in an office. Like for instance, School FM, we have accountants. Do they go on the air? Ada,
Yes,
do our account? If you don't come to work, will the accountant do your show?
no, no at
So
all.
can we just have a bit of? We have people who criticize politics and religion. People like Reno or Mockery. People like there are many on Twitter, on Instagram, and there are people who criticize religion. We have Muslim critics too. We have Imam of Peace from Australia. We have so many of them. But I will not personally go into a field I'm not an expert on or I don't have understanding of, so I don't get insulted. We've got to be very careful with that.
Okay, Daddy Praise, good evening. My name is Dick Badenian Carr. I also want to be a member of the church. I am 25. Oh, I am 52 years old.
Oh wow!
I am 52 years old, visually impaired old man, looking forward to hearing from you, sir.
Oh, that is so sweet. I feel so happy for him. Oh wow.
He's been having loads of that, like over 15 right now. Daddy Praise, I'm beginning to understand you deep when I'm listening to your Bible reading. Honestly, we've been misled by pastors. Please shed more light. We are friends now.
Jibola Lawal, I just saw your comment now.
That's
You just hit the nail on the head. I strongly believe many pastors
Insider
don't know the
endurance.
one and true God.
Okay, who is a good guy and
That
who
is
is a
all
bad?
my mission. Finish. You don't get them.
Good evening, Daddy Freeze and Ada. Freeze, you're always on point. So most of these GOs are using most of the technological gadgets they condemned in the past. And you want me to trust them?
Hmm.
I've opened my eyes ever since I started listening to you, Daddy Freeze. Just that. Okay, what are you trying to say? Okay, you're trying to say you opened your eyes more. Alright. Daddy Freeze, please, how can I join the Free Nation movement? Thanks.
Oh boy,
Or
this
love
thing
life
don't turn to
for
audition for Free Nation. Wow. They can follow me up on Instagram. It's Daddy Freeze on Instagram. Let's pick it up from there. Oh my, I like this Nigeria info. The Nigeria info audience is different from Cool FM audience. Oh. As the Nigeria info audience are mature people who are thinking. I'm sorry, Cool FM people come and beat me now. Let me just leave it alone.
Hi, Daddy Freeze. I love your analysis, but you are an inch away from the truth. Religion, I hate with passion. I am sorry to say that you portray yourself informed and still hold on to religion. That tells me either you're making yourself appealing to the general public widely held opinion, or you are surreptitiously an idiot because no one works in religion with logic and common sense. You are to follow the imaginary. Okay, you are to follow the imaginary God. Dictate. What are you trying to say?
I get where he's coming from because I get a lot of critics
Wow,
like
you think
that.
Christianity is a lie. Jesus never existed. Let the people stop looking for a white guy to come saving them from problems.
But you see, that's where the problem is. Christ was never white. He was one of us. But I don't want to go into that today because that's another argument, and we'll not talk about. Because I really wanted us to talk about Nigeria and China and the bishop who was arrested today over the Nigeria China fracas. But take a couple more texts or WhatsApp messages so we can move on? Or what do you think, Ada? Because we have about 30 minutes left.
I think today you're just dwelling on time, because 30 minutes is not enough for you to use and talk on today's topic. We're just gonna have a carryover and just dwell on the time scene till tomorrow.
No, Ada, we did show prep now. That show prep is hard to do.
I know.
How can we do show prep and now not use the show prep?
So you just have to carry it over.
We have to carry it over.
On
Okay.
the issue on tithing, here in Nigeria we have turn God to money doubler. The present him as a godfather who demands something to give you something. I totally agree with you, Daddy Priest, that tithing doesn't provoke any heavenly blessing. If so, Nigeria would have been the most prosperous country in the world. Thank
Absolutely. Absolutely.
you. Busola from Oba. Okay. Good evening, Ada. Good evening, Daddy Priest. God bless the heart that gave it.
Absolutely.
Okay. On my sister's birthday, she'll go to the orphanage home to donate items and celebrate with the children. To me, that sacrifice is worth more than millions people would pay to pastors as tithes.
Absolutely.
Can this
Absolutely.
program be extended? It's so much love it. Daddy, please, I really want to appreciate what
Dazzling K, yes, that's enough to be a Free Nation member. Remember to register on our website, freenationchurch.org. That will help. And you can join any of our departments there.
We're trained and raised by, what's that? Okay. We're trained and raised by the founding fathers of the gospel in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
It's just a thing of spiritual insight, having the ability to read and understand the scriptures, which many of them lack.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
You won't know until God reveals it himself. Reveals it himself to you. That's why it is recommended that everyone reads and studies the scriptures themselves. Okay. Good evening, Ada. Good evening, Daddy. Free. The issue of tithing has become a very big controversial issue in most of the churches today. So many pastors want to strangle their members to death because of tithe. Ada had a topic last week Sunday, which she talked about the particular church refusing to bury his member because of his inability to pay.
That was the one you talked about on Sunday.
Yeah, that is totally wrong and totally unacceptable. As for Daddy Priest, please, we are living in a society where the truth is always bitter, but the truth must be said. Thanks and God bless you. I am Casey.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. And God bless you, my dear brother.
Do we take more messages?
Yes, so there are many. Let's so that they don't feel like their messages are lost in transition. Because I can feel the yearning they have.
Hello, Daddy Priest. Please, I've been wondering, are you working from home because of the lockdown, or this is how the show is? You can't be in the studio live with Ada.
Well, it's a good question. I'm actually working from home, even though I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love being on my bed and doing the work. But very soon, I'm sure I'm going to be required to come into the building physically. I'm sure you guys are looking forward to it. That's Daddy Free. Today I'll finish him. He'll come into the building physically. This one that is phoning in is immune to our bashing.
Daddy Free, Christianity is not about tithing. Christianity is about salvation.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. That's a genius there.
Stop portraying yourself as the all-knowing. You are far from the truth and salvation. Muna from next.
Muna, you yarn better with one hand. You can't use your own hand for your own self. I'm not portraying myself as the all-knowing. Somebody asked me tight question, I explain. Where is the all-knowing there? As in, people are so funny. Where's that from? Now, wow. Any more?
Yeah, Daddy Priest, you nailed it. Because most of the men of God outside now, they're just deceiving your followers. Before, I believed in them, but right now, I've changed my
I also
But
believed
I'm
in
now
them.
Muslim.
I also used to believe
Okay,
in a
I'm
lot of
limited
them.
to three. One faith, Muslim, Christian, and idol worshipper. Really?
What? Sorry, what's that again?
Okay. He's saying that he used to believe the man of God back then, but right now he now believes in three things. That's a faith in Muslims, faith in Christianity, and now he's an idol worshipper.
Wow. Can you see? Can you see? All these your Jews, help me beg them. Oh. All these souls that have been lost because of them, they will be held accountable for it too. Anyway, what's my business? What can I say? Before they will say I'm looking for their Jews problem.
And if someone is asking you to spell out your Instagram handle,
Okay, you might as well just use the website, freenationchurch.org. It's better than the Instagram. You can register on the website, freenationchurch.org.
okay. Good
Mabel.
evening, Nada and Daddy Freeze. Please, when will this height of a thing stop? Some people choose to be doing it because it's working for them. So just stop all this thing, okay? Let's talk about our country. Tell people that Nigeria is not going to work, or less diaspora come.
What did
So
he say
yesterday
again?
something that
He said we
he's
should
saying
stop
that
talking
we should
about
stop
tithe.
tithing and talk about Nigeria.
I didn't talk about tithing. The very first caller we had at the beginning of the show asked me to explain my views on tithing. He was an evangelist, a very lovely gentleman. He asked me to explain about tithing. And I explained from the beginning to the end on why it's not a Christian doctrine. It was a caller. Should I not answer my callers again? Should I tell them that I don't want to talk? Or please, are we not supposed to be here talking? If you want us to talk about Nigeria, we'll talk about Nigeria. We'll talk about Nigeria related issues. I actually have a Nigeria related issues that I penned down for today. But people want to talk more about tithing. And that tithing works for me. Nonsense is a lie from the pit of hell. It's individualistic religion. And what is individualistic religion? Satanism, where you determine what works for you and what doesn't. This Christ is very clear. There are guidelines for Christianity. You can't drive on the third Milan Bridge. You can't turn around and face the oncoming lane and be driving like that. No, there are rules and regulations. Somebody tried it in Ajah today and killed 4 people. I don't know if you saw the story, Ada.
No, I haven't seen it.
In Christianity, there is no tithing. And somebody just even included it. He said, test me, test the Lord. And Christ said, you do not test the Lord in Matthew chapter 4. So you've got to be very careful. There's so many things adding up against that tithing doctrine. So you all need to be very careful. But like I said, it's up to you. You asked my opinion. I answered. If you didn't ask, I wouldn't answer. I wouldn't come to the show and want to talk about tithing.
Good evening, Daddy Freeze. I am Olayinka Matthew. I enjoy your research, but I do disagree with your stand of judgment. Why is it that your biblical knowledge is not focusing on salvation, but is only focusing on tithe and religious leaders? Why is the judgment coming from you? Thank you.
Um, Boils down to exactly what I just said. I started a show. We're supposed, but if you follow me as an ardent follower, I've preached on the 666. I've preached on Revelation. I've preached on salvation. My last message on Cool FM on Sunday morning had nothing to do with tithe. Absolutely nothing. It was a proper breakdown on why Christians need to have their name in the book of life instead of worrying about 666. So my problem is if you come from a one-sided point of view, you only see one side. If you've been with us for a while, you notice that there's a lot we speak of, a lot that you would not even hear in a regular church. And I'm talking about deep scriptural teaching. So I'm sorry, but what do you want me to do?
Good evening, Mr. Freeze. Again, I actually don't believe in tithing, but I do my donations to less privileged around and some vulnerable homes within Lagos and the state because I see charity as it's Jesus in them.
Mm.
Daddy Freeze, good job. God is your strength. Keep preaching the scriptures. We need it. Daddy Freeze, please kindly help me with 1K sweet tomorrow.
Another 1K help. Please send me the last one. I couldn't. I've not yet done because our somebody entered the token 3 times and the account got closed. So I need to call the account officer and all that. I'll sort that out tomorrow. But send me his details like you sent the other guy yesterday. I'll send him his 1K. No problem.
Okay. I just did that. Yeah, done. I've sent it to you.
I've seen
Mm.
it coming. Mention his name too and his account. Okay, I'll reach out to him and get all that. Let me not stress you at that. God bless you.
Okay, he didn't even add his name. Mayor from Aja. Good evening, Ada and Daddy Freeze. Calling is extremely difficult. About the tithing theme, people like to say you are entitled to your opinion, but that's not fairly correct. You should be entitled to an informed opinion. If not, I can say Trump looks like, wow, Trump looks like carrots to me. What do you say? If you look back at the Jewish history, you'll see that the practice of Judaism isn't Christianity, and the tithing is with a strict directive. Modern churches have taken advantage of the failures of the government to promote education. The empty barrels have been filled with opium illusory hope. Okay. Shortcut favor. Where am I? Okay.
Olori Joseph, unfortunately, we don't
Shortcut
have
favor,
PayPal.
sharp
Oh.
door, it's all illusion. Daddy Freeze goes through pain. Okay, Daddy Freeze goes through pain to make factual findings, but the minds of the people are lazy and misguided, so they see his criticism as attacking the church. I am with him even though I am an atheist. He speaks practically.
I love that. Okay,
Okay.
so let's talk about. We're going to talk about Bill Gates tomorrow. Then I think we missed. We can't do it today, but I believe we can talk about the bishop who was arrested and the Nigeria China Gbege that is going on now. Apparently, there was a protest in at the Chinese embassy
Mm-hmm. Here in
today
Vegas.
here in Lagos. Let me give you the story and let's address it from an informed point of view. Okay, you can find the story on Instablog Niger and some other media houses. Apparently, Instablog Niger is private. You have to follow them. I didn't know that.
Oh,
Someone
okay.
was just saying that to me that he tried to check the story on Instablog, but he's not following them. I'm like, okay. Anyway, maltreatment of Nigerians in China. Archbishop Benjamin arrested for flouting lockdown order to protest at the Chinese embassy in VI, Lagos. Now, although he's making a lot of sense because I I can see what Nigerians are going through in China right now, and it's not pleasant. There are racism allegations and what have you. And these things need to be addressed by the government. And maybe what happened is the bishop is not seeing that people are addressing this the way he wants. So I feel his pain. But there are two sides to it. When you go out and hold a protest during a lockdown, you are endangering the lives of nurses and doctors each time you flout the lockdown rules. Unless it's an emergency. I had to go out today to get some medicines, we have some homemade face masks that the kids use when they want to go around the estate to get stuff. I had to go and get those big tissue things for it. My children know how to make face masks. They make face masks at home. So anytime they have contact with delivery people, people who bring bottled water and all those things, they're at least covered to a reasonable extent. So I went to get that. I went to get some mentholated spirit. I also went to get insecticide and one or two supplies. I usually go out maybe once or twice a week max to get supplies. And I don't indulge myself. I don't go to hang out. I don't go to events or parties. Or no, it's just necessities. As a human being, you have some necessities, and you just have to get those things. So that's the only thing that sees me leaving the house. And when I leave the house, I try to wear face masks. Sometimes I wear gloves. Um, Sometimes I don't, but I just make sure I wash my hands. I sanitize my hands. When I come home, do you guys know this skin success? That one that they used to clean face. Ada, do you
Okay.
know skin success?
Mm-hmm.
I have a bottle. Once I come home, the first thing I do is I put a cotton swab and clean my entire face, disinfect my face with an alcohol based solvent like Skin Success, that Palmer's Skin Success. Clean my beard, my mustache, my face, my eyebrows, all the parts of my body that were exposed. I try to do all that. Then, of course, sanitize my hands, wash my hands with soap, then sanitize again the second time. Then the clothes I wore out, I drop at the door of my bedroom and get our nanny to help me wash them. So I wear a new set of clothes. Half the time I'm wearing these Free Nation t-shirts because I have like three or four. So when they're washing one, I'm wearing one, blah, 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 blah. So that way I always, because I wore a Free Nation t-shirt out today, but the one I wore out is being washed. Now, why am I saying all this? Is because each time you go out for the sake of going out or for something that's so unimportant, what you're doing, you see, this virus cannot live without a host. It's like Venom. I don't know if you've watched the movie Venom. It cannot live without a host. So it needs your body to be able to move from one place to the other. The virus does not enter Okada. The virus does not use Uber. The virus will not sit down. You not see coronavirus lying down in bed using Taxify app to call cab. No. It needs a human being to move from one human being to the next. So when you sit at home, what you do is you break that chain. You are the Uber of this virus. So when you sit at home, you break the chain. So the virus is inside this person. It either kills the person or the person survives it and becomes immune to it. So if it kills the person dies with the virus over. Or the person develops antibodies against the virus, and then the virus can't attack that person anymore. So the virus is powerless. That's why you are advised to sit at home. But when you come out, you expose other people, many of whom can be vulnerable. Somebody exposed Abakari to the virus. Now Abakari is late. There are many stories we've been hearing. Many people have passed on from exposure to this virus. And you sitting at home will do the world a lot of good because it's going to protect people from that exposure. I don't know if I'm making sense of that. So I appreciate what the bishop did, but I'd rather he did it from an Instagram account. I'd rather the bishop did it from YouTube. Do you understand? He could have done something and paid Instablog or Tunde Ednot their fee, and they will have aired it for him. Because not everybody that has a big online presence, so I understand that. But that way, the government gets to listen to his protest. The Chinese people get to listen to his protest. Some of us who hear what he's trying to say will also help broadcast his protest so that the Chinese authorities hear what we're complaining about and the message is passed across. Now, those who attended Abakiari's funeral Weren't they flouting the laws as well? Why? How come no one's arrested? You see, my issue is I am seeing, I may be wrong, and I need a government official to correct me. I'm seeing the hand of Animal Farm. Some animals are, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm seeing that hand because Funke Akindele, we saw pictures of her in court. We saw pictures of her doing community service. Meanwhile, she had a house party with her staff and Naira Mali and a political guy. Finish. Then you see Abakiari's funeral and you see people, you see a multitude of people and nobody's arrested. Or I don't know, maybe I'm the one that doesn't understand. Maybe for funerals, it's different. So that's why I said, let's invite the government to explain
The
this to
virus
us.
sympathize. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Like, I still don't understand. Is it that the virus sympathizes with people, or
I think the virus reacts to politicians different from the way it reacts to celebs and bishops. So when it's bishops and celebs, the virus goes haywire. So that's why they have to arrest bishops and celebs. But when it is politicians, the virus doesn't really touch them like that. So they have some level of immunity because the virus knows that they are powerful people. So the virus doesn't want to get in trouble with the government. So the virus usually avoid politicians, their funerals, and things like that. I think that's the answer. I think that's it because I'm not getting it. I'm not getting why Funke Akindele would be arrested and fined 100K and her husband 100K. If they find everybody that attended Abakari's funeral, we will have enough money to take care of many poor people in Nigeria. You did not see the multitude. So
I did.
I'm not saying they should not have arrested Funke Akindele, but if that's the measure, arrest them all. So I'm seeing that me personally, that's why I said maybe the government can explain to me. Maybe I'm the Olodo, I don't know anything, I don't know book. Maybe government can explain this thing to me clearer and I'll understand whatever the explanation is. I'm just my own opinion, seeing the hand of Animal Farm. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. I don't know whether Naso Una Siam. And let us also talk about this Chinese Nigerian issue. There's an angle I want to talk about.
Okay.
There's an angle I want to talk about. You see, we human beings, let's remove nationality, let's remove the sentiments of race and religion. Let's speak of us as human beings. We human beings have issues. You see, we don't love one another. The Chinese people are treating us wrong now. All of us are panicking, we're crying, we're shouting. Do you remember what happened during the Xenophobia riots in front of ShopRite here in Lekki?
Yeah.
Do you know that there was a Land Cruiser, or was it I think, yes, it was a Land Cruiser carrying Chinese nationals, was stopped by the touts, and these people were beaten. They were attacked with sticks that had spikes. They would have been killed if not for the fact that a policeman with a loaded weapon was there, and they shot into the crowd to disperse the crowd. And why were these Chinese people beaten? Because of the xenophobic attacks in South Africa, who were done by other Africans, black people to be precise, on Nigerians. How do you think the Chinese felt about their nationals in Nigeria being beaten almost to the point of death? So instead of us looking at the racism part, yes, let's complain, but I'll also ask us to look inwards. We're not good ourselves. So when we're complaining about this issue coming from China, we should also remember how we treated them. They didn't deserve to be beaten. They didn't deserve to be malhandled. They were just going about their business. They were not the ones who beat us up in South Africa, and they were not part of the xenophobic attacks that once again were fueled by this dangerous social media service called WhatsApp. I'm so wary of WhatsApp. There's so much danger. Do you know that the fake videos of past attacks and all sorts of things that were circulating on WhatsApp was what fueled the riot. Do you know I could have gotten killed? I was in traffic with my family. Let me tell you, ShopRite is the next bus stop from my house in Lekki. I can literally walk to ShopRite. It is that close to my house. I was stuck in the traffic driving there. Everybody see me yellow, they'll think that I'm white. How many people do you want to start explaining to that you're not white? They'll just kill you. God forbid. Why? Because of WhatsApp and the nonsense that is being circulated on that social media, social networking site, or whatever it is you want to call it. I particularly dislike WhatsApp for what it's being used for, and that forwarding button should be disabled. And people should actually get verified on WhatsApp before they can send. You know the way you're verified on Instagram. You should get verified on WhatsApp. They should know your house, so that if you send something, they can come and pick you up the next day and bundle you and throw you inside a cell. You understand?
Okay. Yeah, I do. Well, we're actually running out of time.
Oh wow, this show is so sweet. Oh wow, we have 3 minutes. Oh my goodness. Let's take calls quickly. Sorry, Ada. Sorry, my dear sister.
No, it's okay. One more call and be a wrap. Hello? Yeah, good evening.
We can hear you, but you're not that clear, dear brother. Hi, good evening, sir. We can hear you, but you're not that clear. Good evening, sir. Okay, sir, go ahead. Okay, sir. Yes, is the opium of the masses. He actually did. I studied a bit of Marxism in school, and I can tell you Karl Marx was speaking about Nigeria.
Oh, dear.
Hmm.
Ooh. The last thing feel like taking another call, but we are really out of time.
Yes, we're absolutely out of time. We'll continue with this. We understand that the bishop was flouting the laws, yes, but he had a salient point, and the Nigeria China issue must be addressed. We must make sure that our citizens in diaspora are not being malhandled. But you see, there's one thing I need to say as we round off. These people know what's happening in our countries. We're not respectable. Nobody will maltreat a Swiss national. Nobody will maltreat an American or a British or a French person because they see what they're doing in their country. But our reputation speaks for us. Many of us are on the next available boat out of Nigeria. If you could ride Okada to London, there'll be people at the Okada park right now getting ready to go to London. Why is this? Because our nation has failed. And instead of us to see how we can repair it, Nelson Mandela didn't run away to the UK. He stayed and he fixed South Africa. All these countries that you have today are what they are today because Rosa Parks decided to not go to the back of the bus, because Martin Luther King decided to take a bullet, because Malcolm X decided to stand up for black people. That is why you could have an Obama. If not for these people, you'd never have a black American president. What you do today determines the future of Nigeria. And we can't all keep running away from our own mess, a mess we created. We didn't work when we're supposed to work. We prayed when we're supposed to work. Instead of staying up all night in laboratories or doing innovations. We stayed up all night to pray and fast. And right now we're running to the countries of those people who stayed awake to work. Isn't that the height of hypocrisy? Many of these countries, you people are coming out to say America is giving $1,000, this place is giving 1,000 euro. How many of those countries are Christian? Aside America, the majority of Europe is irreligious. I have been to churches where you have the image of Mary in the back because it was a church. It's now a nightclub. People are dancing and the image is there. This used to be a church, it's now a nightclub. What does that mean? People have lost their hope in religion and nobody attends those buildings. So they rent them out to clubs or to pubs or whatever it is that would attract the attention of the people so as not to let the buildings lay to waste. And these are the countries we're running to. These are the countries that take care of their system. All right, let me go. God bless you all. Ada.
Yes, please. Okay, thank you so much, Daddy Freeze. I believe we're going to continue. We're going to start with the bishop. We'll start with this by tomorrow.
All
Thank
right,
you so
we'll
much,
start with it
Pastor.
and of course end up with Bill Gates. So you guys need to listen out tomorrow. Big shout out to Uriel Music Star and big shout out to you, Ada. Bless you.
Okay, thank you so much, Daddy Freeze. Have a good night. 99.3 Nigeria Info. It's been a great one with Daddy Freeze, life and the news with Daddy Freeze. And that's how we do it. What's up?
Whew. Lovely, lovely hanging out with you guys. So don't forget to join us tomorrow. 99.3 Nigeria info. The numbers to call are 07 0700 uh, 993 Okay? Please join us and we'll be there tomorrow. Thank you so much, all of you. God bless you, Uriel. You came late, we're rounding off, we're going, but thanks for coming nonetheless and do have a blessed day. And to everyone, to Mike, I see you. Let me hail a couple of you. Chinon Somega, bless you. It's sad about the bishop because he's actually making sense. Let's be honest, the bishop was making sense. It's just that, let me just be careful before they say I should come and join the bishop now, since I think he's making sense. Because it's hard to know what these people want. And if the bishop is speaking up for us, because whether you like it or not, racism in China is an issue that we need to deal with. I'll be on tomorrow from 10 p.m. till midnight, live on 99.3 Nigeria Info. That's the radio station I work with now. A beautiful radio station that allows us to talk, and we all talk. 2 hours of straight talk. My mouth is paining me. I want to go and sit down and see if Taste Buds has that grilled chicken she gave me yesterday. That chicken, jeez. Oh, they just gave me thigh. If you see the way I was tearing the thigh. Babes! Take care, guys. Love you all. Bless you.